Hello everyone, I am Professor Anish Vora and I welcome you all in this video lecture. Currently, you know that we are running a series of video lecture on design of synchronous machine. In this video lecture, we will study about determination of direct axis and quadrature axis reactance in case of salient pole type of rotor. We start with magnetizing reactance. Magnetizing reactance per phase of cylindrical rotor machine with uniform air gap and three-phase winding. It can be given by the equation that is Xm, that is 7.54 multiplied by F multiplied by TPH square KW square multiplied by D multiplied by L divided by P square multiplied by Lg and multiplied by kg and multiplied by 10 raised to minus 6. That is as per the equation we can easily able to calculate a magnetizing reactance. Now this calculation is for a cylindrical type of rotor machine where we have uniform air gap. In case of cylindrical rotor type of machine, we have single axis and that is a polar axis, and the air gap remains uniform. So P is the number of pole, Lg that is the air gap length, Kg that is gap contraction factor, Kw that is winding factor, Tph that is number of turns per phase, F that is frequency, D and L that is our main dimension, stator bore diameter and the stator core length. Now, if we calculate per unit magnetizing reactance, then we have Xm. Now we use capital X, Xm, that is Xm multiplied by a ratio of per phase current to voltage, that is I phase divided by E phase. Now let us study about two reaction theory in case of salient pole type of machine. In the figure we can see that it is a salient type of rotor or projected type of rotor. We have taken two poles. Now in case of cylindrical type of rotor, we know that air gap is uniform and that is why the reactance remain uniform throughout the rotor position, and we have a single symmetry of axis and that is known as either polar axis or D axis or direct axis. But now in case of salient type of rotor, we know that we have two axes. One axis that is along the pole or polar axis and that is known as a direct axis. And in direct axis we have two air gap, that is the minimum air gap. And in case of quadrature axis we have interpolar or perpendicular to the polar axis. We have interpolar axis and that is known as a quadrature axis. In quadrature axis also we have two air gap and that is the maximum air gap. So based on the air gap we have different or air gap is not uniform, and that is why the reluctance offered to the flux that is also not uniform. So we have to calculate direct axis reactance as well as quadrature axis reactance. The fluxes of the direct and quadrature axis produce a voltage in the winding of the stator by armature reaction. Suppose EAD be the direct axis component of the armature reaction voltage and EAQ be the quadrature axis component of the armature reaction voltage. Armature reaction voltage EAD can be indicated by the equation that is minus J XAD multiplied by ID, and EAQ that is minus J XAQ multiplied by IQ, where XAD is the armature reaction reactance in the direct axis per phase XAQ is the armature reaction reactance in the quadrature axis per phase. ID, that is a current component in direct axis, and IQ, that is current component in quadrature axis. So in this video lecture, we are interested in determination of direct as well as quadrature axis reactance for the salient type of rotor machine. To obtain direct axis and quadrature axis armature reactance for salient pole machine, the expression of magnetizing reactance must be multiplied by flux distribution coefficient. Now, per unit direct axis of armature reactance, per unit direct axis armature reaction reactance can be given as XAD. XAD, we have seen that it is responsible or where it can be used with our armature reaction voltage. So XAD, that is XM, that is our magnetizing reactance per unit magnetizing reactance, and multiplied by AD1, where AD1, that is known as a flux distribution coefficient for direct axis, and it can be given as PD multiplied by A1, where PD, that is a reduction factor for direct axis armature magnetomotive force, and it can be given as alpha plus sine alpha divided by 4 sine alpha by 2, where alpha, that is the angle of span for pole arc, and same way A1, that is a ratio of BM1 to Bg, that is a gap flux density. Same way we have per unit quadrature axis armature reaction reactance, and that is XAQ, and it can be given by XM, that is per unit magnetizing reactance, multiplied by AQ1, where AQ1, that is a flux distribution coefficient, and it can be given by the equation 4 psi plus 1 divided by 5 minus sine psi pi divided by pi, where psi, that is a ratio of pole arc to pole pitch. So now synchronous reactance. Per unit value of unsaturated synchronous reactance for the two axes, that is a direct axis synchronous reactance, and it is indicated by XD, D for direct axis, and that is XAD multiplied by XL. And same way quadrature axis synchronous reactance, that is indicated by XQ, and Q is for quadrature axis, and that is XAQ multiplied by XL, where XL, that is per unit leakage reactance, and that is common in both the axes, that is direct as well as quadrature axis. Now suppose if we see the phasor diagram for the salient pole type of rotor machine for terminal voltage as well as no load EMF. So suppose we have terminal voltage, and that is indicated by Vt. We have current component, that is armature current, and it is making an angle with terminal voltage, that is our power factor angle, and that is phi. Now armature current can be dissolved into two components. One is a direct axis component, and that is ID, and one is a quadrature axis component, and that is IQ. Now direct axis component, that is perpendicular to the no load EMF, and IQ, that is quadrature axis component, that is along our no load EMF. So we have a voltage drop, that is IRA, that is parallel to the current IA. Then we have a drop, that is because of synchronous reactance for direct axis, that is IDXD, and that is perpendicular to the current ID. And same way we have voltage drop because of quadrature axis reactance, and that is IQXQ, and that is also perpendicular to the IQ. And then we can draw the no load EMF, and that is indicated by the EO. The angle between current and no load EMF, that is psi, and angle between terminal voltage and no load EMF, that is known as a delta, and that is power angle. So let us quickly revise how to draw our phasor diagram for the salient pole type of rotor machine. Terminal voltage, armature current, ID and IQ, IAR drop, IDXD drop, IQXQ drop, and no load EMF, that is EO, angle psi and angle power angle delta. VT, that is terminal voltage per phase, EO, that is no load voltage per phase, IA, that is armature current per phase, cos phi, power factor, we have taken lagging in this case, delta, that is power angle, psi, that is summation of delta plus phi, that is power angle plus power factor angle, ID, that is direct axis current, and IQ, that is quadrature axis current. Now suppose if we see the phasor diagram, cylindrical type of rotor. Now in case of cylindrical type of rotor, we know that we have only one axis, and that is direct axis, and that is why the synchronous reactance, that is exactly equal to the direct axis component of the reactance. So if we draw terminal voltage, then we have a current component IA lagging behind the voltage with angle phi. If we draw a perpendicular line to the IA, and then we have a drop that is known as IAXS. Now in this case, IA is not dissolved into two components, it is ID or IQ, because direct axis component ID, that is equal to IA. So voltage drop IAXS, and then we have no load EMF, that is EO. So we have delta, that is power angle, voltage angle between terminal voltage and no load EMF. So XS, that is synchronous reactance, and that is equal to XD, that is our direct axis reactance. Reduction factor for direct axis armature MMF for a cylindrical rotor machine, and that can be given by PD, that is pi square psi divided by 8 sine psi pi divided by 2. That is all about how to determine direct axis as well as quadrature axis reactance for a salient pole type of rotor machine. So with this, I must stop here. Thank you very much for watching my video. Thank you very much.